Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Donut Watch Party. I'm so excited to be here. There's a lot of exciting day today. It's like a culmination of a lot of hard work that went into the Donut Hardfork, which we're going to cover really soon. So I am Yaz. I'll be your host today. We have an amazing set of guests here at the Watch Party. I'm really excited for this event. Today is a very interesting day for several reasons. Mostly because of the Donut Hardfork, but also there's like an outside market component. But hey, as Pranay would say, Lamboser may be canceled, but at least we still have donuts, right? And I have donuts here in my hand right now, and I hope you do too. You know, like this is a really exciting time for the donut activation and stuff. I also brought scotch to wash down all this donut, and I hope some of you are celebrating and drinking alongside me. Alrighty. So let's get started. So what is Celo? Celo, from a high level, is a mobile-first EVM compatible chain with a mission of bringing prosperity for all. Donut is our first hard fork, and it's been a very coordinated events with lots of meetings with the community, with the all core devs. Like a lot of coordination happened over there. We tested the code, deployed the code on testnet. We were trying to ensure that everything goes well. This doesn't even include the coordinated effort of getting everyone who's running the Celo node to upgrade for the Donut Hardfork. We had to coordinate with validators, exchanges, apps, and wallets, just so we can be Hardfork ready. So before we get started, I want to share a few links with the folks in the YouTube chat. First off, if you're attending the watch party, there's a form, like a Google form that you can submit to get an NFT badge for attending the live stream. So definitely check it out. Somebody will share in the link, share that link in the YouTube chat. And yeah, submit your address and your email and you'll get an NFT badge for attending the live stream. So that's really cool. The second thing that we're gonna be going over is we're going to be watching this live using a Hardfork monitor. And I'm going to share the link as well for the Hardfork monitor. If you can, somebody will share the fork monitor in the chat, and we're going to be sharing the fork monitor on the screen as well to see the countdown. Currently, if you check out the link, we're about 400 blocks away from activation. So it's pretty exciting. We're getting there and stuff. And yeah, so the other thing that we're going to be probably going to brush over very briefly is the status state for the Donut Hardfork. So this will show you two different nodes. One is running a donut activated node and the other running a non-donut activated node. And in theory, after donut activates and after we trigger a state change using the new features activated in Donut, like the MetaMask transaction, that would cause the old node, I'm presuming to go haywire. I haven't actually tested that live, but I'm really excited to see what happens, at least with that, right? And yeah, so we're gonna go do a deep dive in a little bit on Donut, but first I wanna welcome everyone on our watch stream before we talk about what's in Donut. How's everyone doing today?
Woohoo, doing well.
Woohoo! Amazing.
Happy Donut Day, right?
Happy Donut Day.
And thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna start by doing a quick, like an introduction and talking to all of you here. And while we're paying attention to the Donut to the fork monitor, first I want to talk to Marek, one of the founders of Celo and stuff. How you doing, Marek? How are you today? I really love the filters.
Doing great. It's incredible to be here. I had a little bit too much sugar already this morning, so it's not helping with my pandemic bod, but it's a great way to celebrate this exciting day.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It must be such a journey for you from like, Donut from like, Celo first going online on Earth Day, April 2020, and now we're going for the first hard fork. I believe it will be the first hard fork out of any proof of stake network that activated in 2020, right? So.
That I know of. Maybe there's some others, but yeah, we're pretty excited to be one of the first, yeah, if not the first.
Yeah, and it's definitely such a journey. I'm so glad that we can, we got like from a year from now till today, we finally, we're here, like less than 400 blocks away from Donut, so it's super exciting and stuff like that. And yeah, um, then Adriana is also here from like representing the community. How are you, Adriana?
I'm doing great. It's so exciting, just thinking like last year mainnet and just how much the community's grown. And it's just amazing to now come to this milestone.
Yeah, and it's such a major event as well for the rest of the community as well. Everyone's like connected, and who doesn't love donuts and stuff like that. So yeah, it's super exciting.
We love connecting around food, It's a great way to bring people together.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw, when I saw Celo for the first time, there was a love for dessert, like the alfajores testnet, the baklava testnet, there's all that kind of love for dessert and stuff. I would do a petition maybe for the future Hardfork not to be a dessert name, just because there's too much sugar in the blood already, right? But like, yeah, it's so far some.
Is this the people's Hardfork though? Because like the donut is the people's dessert.
It's the people's dessert, yeah.
True.
It's definitely the people's dessert and stuff. But yeah, Zaki, like while I have you here, so one of the changes that we have in Donut is CIP 25, which is done by the Chorus One team. CIP 25 is for the ED 25519. And the idea is it will allow us to build better bridges between Celo and Cosmos or Near and stuff. And I know that you're like one of the main folks behind Cosmos and stuff. I'm kind of curious, how do you feel about the milestone and stuff, and like the future of bridging and all that?
I mean, there's so much exciting work that is related to sort of the Cosmos directions that like happens in Celo. There's sort of so much synergy between the projects, right? One is there's like all of James's work on like optics, right, which I'm very excited about, which is very exciting to me. There is work on doing the Celo Cosmos bridge. There is work on doing not just this direction, but also having a light client on Cosmos that can understand these the Celo project. Celo is probably the only other project that I think has worked as hard on light clients as we have. And so that's another thing. Light clients are like sort of the underlying technology of IBC, and Celo has worked as hard as we have on light clients and has emphasized them as much as we have. So that's, I think, another area of synergy. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to see like all of the ways in which these projects can grow more closely together. And like generally the rise of asset ecosystems in all of these proof of stake chains really excites me.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so good to hear. Yeah, I mean, like, and on the light client side, like the major work is going into Plumo. We can talk about Plumo later. One of the changes added to the Donut Hardfork will enable Plumo, and which is like an ultralight client that we're building at Celo that is 1.7 million times faster than any other existing client. So I'm really excited. Looks like Joe Bowman is also here. Joe, you're the author of CIP 25. So, I mean, this is a great opportunity because, you want to build a bridge between Cosmos and Celo, and you're like a community contributor to the Celo ecosystem by submitting the CIP. So I'm kind of curious, all the hard work that went into it, you're finally seeing it coming to fruition.
Hey, so yeah, no, it's great to be part of the. You did, James. Thanks. It's great to be part of the team working on the Celo Cosmos bridge. We're really excited to be part of the project in bridging the two ecosystems. Both myself and Matthias and Parth, who's unfortunately left us recently, have been working hard on getting the Celo light client running under Cosmos. And that ties in with another project we're working on for the ICF with WASM-based light clients for the Cosmos ecosystem, which was originally a Zaki idea. So we're halfway through this project now. In terms of we delivered the Cosmos, the Celo light client onto Cosmos. We're just in the process of going through agreeing with the Celo Foundation for a phase 2 of this bridge. So yeah, the next stage is to hopefully have a working Celo Cosmos bridge by the end of this year.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see how that turned out. I hope you're having a donut right now, Joe.
I'm not, but there's one in the kitchen. I'll have it very shortly.
Awesome,
I'm just getting the kids in bed at the moment.
You definitely deserve a donut after donut activates to celebrate that bridge that that we're going to see later this year. So I'm really excited about that. All right, and then to one of our superstar core devs, James Bestwish. James, you contributed CIP 20. You are the hard fork coordinator with the core dev. You organized the project. You made sure that everyone's on time from the core developers, submitting, testing, and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is the first donut, the first hard fork on Celo. So tell me how you feel and stuff about it.
Yeah, I'm feeling great about it. It's been really good to work on Donut. My contribution was primarily in the specification and working with outside teams to get outside CIPs in. All of the real difficult implementation and integration work was the blockchain team at C Labs, which is Mariano's team. So, I mostly handed off my pieces a few months back, and they've done all the, the difficult pieces, delivering it and getting Donut out the door and deployed. That's where all the real work is. Yeah,
and we're gonna do a good spotlight on the core dev really soon, like Mariano and fun fact, okay, so let's talk about the core devs now. We have Mariano who's leading the blockchain team. Mariano, I know initially when we started the CIP process just to get it together in specification, there was a lot of back and forth, but finally we're here. We finally we activated on multiple test nets. And Donut is about 300 blocks away and stuff. So tell me, how are you feeling so far?
Wow, 300 blocks. You guys nervous? But no, I think great. I love that we are finally here. I feel like we've been seeing takes a lot of work, not only on implementation and testing, on orchestration, specification, getting everybody around this, and I think it was a huge team effort. So love seeing how this all is taken to conclusion, and we are finally here. So really excited about that.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember the first call we had together when I first joined C Labs was about the hard fork, how does one go through the process of activating a hard fork? And I just came off fresh from Ethereum Classic, where we did 4 to 5 hard forks, and I've seen the crazy side of hard forks as well. Proof of work hard fork, super entertaining. But luckily, Celo is a proof of stake network, and hard fork here are more straightforward than hash distribution and stuff. And the other person I want to highlight is Or Neiman. Or is actually his vacation day, but yet he showed up for the Donut Watch Party because of all the amazing work that you submitted. Or you're the main author of CIP 35, right? CIP 35 is the most anticipated it's the most anticipated change that's coming to Celo, just because it enabled Ethereum transaction type, which would allow us to connect to MetaMask and all the other Ethereum toolings and stuff like that. So tell me, how do you feel so far? We're finally here and stuff, and all this hard work is coming to this activation and stuff.
Yeah, definitely great. Like Mariana said, this has been culmination of a lot of effort from a lot of people. Going back to last year, my involvement only started in January, I think, but still, it's been very memorable and great to see it finally happen.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, crazy props to you, Yaz, since you're the host as well, for all the coordination you did, getting everybody, all the validators and exchanges to upgrade.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, go Yaz!
Appreciate it.
Yaz! I'm familiar with the pain of trying to get exchanges to update. So.
Yeah. Especially when they don't listen to you and they take forever. Some of the exchanges, they're really fun to work with, though. We love our exchanges, don't we? But yeah. I'm we're finally getting here and stuff like that. We're less than 300 blocks. We're about 268 blocks. We're going to share the screen really soon. The other folks I want to touch on is the rest of the core devs. We have Ponte in the house. I believe Joshua's in the house. I don't know if Joshua's in the house. Javi, you did a lot of work as well. So I just want to put a spotlight on, Ponte, Javi, Joshua, just for all the work you're doing on the blockchain team. How do y'all feel?
Great. Yes, this is like very exciting. My first fork, and probably not the last one. But yes, it's like it's been like really great weeks, and it's like we are breathing this effort, and we kind of like waiting and expecting that everything happens, right? But yes, everything is okay.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Javi, how about you? So a little thing about Javi, he's the main guy that I ping every day to get me the list of pesky validators that are not upgraded for Donut, and me reaching out to them every day, be like, hey, can you upgrade to Donut? So Javi has been really patient with me every day. So Javi, how you feel? Are you glad you won't have to hear from me for a while?
No, very happy to hear from you. And yeah, a bit nervous, but happy to see this happening.
Yeah, totally. Yes, super exciting to see happening. And one of our other MVPs who submitted a CIP, we got Kobe in the house. Kobe, the changes that you're adding to Donut would enable Plumo, and you're the main guy behind Plumo, which is like probably one of my favorite projects at Celo and stuff. So tell me, how you feeling like, with the Donut activation that would enable Plumo and ultralight clients and stuff like that. So talk to me.
Sure. So first of all, again, I want to give props to everyone that was involved. I think that the whole preparation for Donut was exemplary, and very responsible testing periods. And I think a lot of people put a lot of hard work to make this happen in the best way possible. So I was very happy to be a part of a team that works like that. But yeah, specifically about the CIP that we've been working on, CIP 22, which introduces some changes to the block headers, especially when the epoch changes every day. So this enables Plumo, so an ultralight client that is Snark-based. And that means that starting with the Donut activation block, we will start creating Snark-friendly block headers that will enable us to create these ultralight client proofs so that mobile clients can sync really, really fast. Yeah, so one thing that maybe is good to highlight to people is that we are in the process of running the trusted setup for Plumo. And yeah, we invite everyone that wants to contribute to that to join. But yeah, I feel pretty good about the Donut Hardfork. And yeah, again, I think also thanks to you, you've been doing a lot of really hard and great coordination work. So yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and we're super excited to about like the second round of Plumo. And for those of you who haven't been to a Plumo ceremony, we did one in the past for round one that was also live streamed. So you can check out our older YouTube videos. We can probably share it later on what's the process like. And we're gonna have a round two as well, starting soon after Donut. And I see Renee here. Hey Renee, how's it going?
Good to see everyone. Happy Donut Day.
Happy Donut Day to you too. I was just talking to Merrick that it must be such a journey for you and Merrick as the founders from like the day that, Celo, went online, and now a year later we're going through the first hard fork and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No, look, if anyone had predicted where we are today a year ago, would have happily taken it. So it's just phenomenal to see how much the community has grown, how much is being built in around the world in so many different places. And people always ask, what are the real world use cases for this technology? And at this point, the list is so long that it doesn't fit in a single answer, and that's really exciting. And yeah, I want to thank everyone who's been working tirelessly over the last year on this journey already, and yeah, very excited for what's to come. And especially with the Donut Hardfork. I mean, I love donuts, so it's a happy day. But also, I think this really opens up so many new possibilities also for the community to grow and just also kind of more easily join our community. So I'm very excited about it.
Well, I'm excited as well. It's such a major thing to happen, and it's truly a cool, like to sum up everyone's effort from the community side, from C-Lab, the foundation, all the different startups and all the different Gitcoin project, everyone coming together, and we can celebrate this major network upgrade together. And we can also enjoy donuts at the same time. So that's great. I see Meta and Amy on the call. Am I right? Did I skip them before?
Yeah.
So yeah, hey Meta. So Meta, one of the main features that we're going to activate in Donut is the MetaMask integration with both dApp developers and seller owners. So so tell me, I know that you're working tirelessly on the documentation, and we're going to be sharing those documentation after Donut activates and stuff. So I'm curious, how are you feeling so far that, the docs and all the prep that you're doing is going to go live? We're going to see people check it out and stuff.
I'm super excited. Yeah, I think it'll enable a lot more like Ethereum dApps to port over to Celo a lot more easily. I know Josh is super excited about this. A couple C-Labbers are at like a hackathon this weekend, and hopefully some people will start using this MetaMask stuff. And it's already been live on Alpha Horus, so I'm excited to see if people have already started playing around with it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so exciting to hear. And I know Amy, you were also like the PM, making sure that, we can get the MetaMask docs and everything prepared prior to the hard fork. So I'm imagining it must be thrilling for you to see it activate. Or potentially Amy might not be on the call. Oops. Okay, let's move on then to.
Yes, we're T-minus about 200 blocks. Why don't you tell us what you're excited about for all this after coordinating everything? Like, give us an overview, man.
I'm excited to go take a nap after because I haven't slept in a while and stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. But yeah, Joelle, while we're talking, so you and the rest of the all-star DevRel team have been working tirelessly helping me make sure that we have enough great content. Joelle, Brandy, Joe, Josh, the special forces of C-Lab DevRel. So how do y'all feel? Tell me how you're feeling.
Honestly, any excuse to get like Zaki, Victor, and all these great faces in a room talking about Celo, it just makes me excited. And I like to think of what this chain will look like a year from now and how many more faces will be in these giant calls. And that's the thing that kind of keeps me going.
Awesome. How about you, Brandy? Is it your first watch party for Hardfork?
First Zoom watch party ever. And I'm super excited. It's a little early over here. I've been traveling around trying to work with the community, went to a hackathon, shared some Celo love. Ultimately, I'm just really excited of where we're at with Donut right now. This is truly a community effort, and it showcases that. This very moment is really about the community. And what I love more is like anybody interested in participating in this ecosystem, it's open to you, right? Like, you could submit a Celo improvement proposal, modify it the way that you feel would benefit the protocol. The community gets to vote on it. Big shout out to the validators, like all the work needed to update the validators, come together, bring this to fruition, like mad love to the community. Super good job. And DevRel's here for you. That's what we're for. We want to sit here and give you all the support necessary. I can't wait for the future of Celo. Like, this is just amazing. Good job. And Yaz, you are a beast. Well done, Yaz. Just really good work. Love it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And speaking of DevRel, we're gonna have like a new head of DevRel, Eric Nakagawa, and like he's the inventor of Lowcat. I did invite him to the watch party. I'm curious if he's in the audience, but yeah. So under Eric as well, Celo DevRel is gonna go in an amazing direction, and I can't wait. So Tim, like, you're like, when people ask me what's Tim like, I'm like, he's such a sweetheart with like, always like patient with me and stuff like that. And like, it must be really thrilling for you to see like all the engineering effort that went into activate, like, getting us to this point. So tell me, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like I may have had too much sugar this morning, but hey, I'm sure I'm not the only one here. Yeah, no, I think it's a really exciting moment for the community, and it felt a little bit like, hey, these processes are not without their twists and turns. It felt a few weeks ago like, hey, we're doing really well. We've got tons of folks upgraded to 1.3. The block numbers are set, the communication's gone out. And then of course, we learned about like the upstream Go Ethereum and Ethereum clients disclosure around like an attack on state by doing lots of random lookups into state. And we thought, well, we've been planning to work on this for a little while, but hey, are we gonna have to roll something else into Donut? Are we gonna have to like roll something else in the last minute into this hard fork? So the best laid plans sometimes have to change. In the end, we didn't have to, but we did end up having two separate point releases after 1.3. So it was more of a scramble than perhaps we want, but we like excitement. We don't want things to be too calm and too easy. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm also very excited to find out, what's after Donut. Whether are we going to go for enchiladas? Are we going to go for eclairs? I think there are some really interesting possibilities about what lands in that hard fork, and we could be looking at perhaps a slightly faster cadence this time as well for the next hard fork. But yeah, I'm gonna get that donut under my belt, as it were, before we focus too much on that.
Yeah. So you're speaking about enchiladas. One thing I'm trying to advocate for is espresso, and I'm feeling like it's getting a lot of support so far. So we'll see how it plays out for the next donut name, the next hard fork name and stuff. But yeah, so a little heads up, we're about over 100 blocks, 115 blocks to go. I'm gonna share the screen soon, but like, let's go give a shout out to a few other people in the community. Victor. Don't be camera shy. Just turn on your camera, Victor. You're one of like Bison Trail validators, and Bison Trail has been very active in the community and stuff. You attended all the all-core dev calls. You attended the governance calls. So you told me that Celo is like one of the network that you're excited about. So how do you feel about like us going through the first hard fork? Seeing how the network grows and stuff.
Well, it's really interesting. I feel like as an operator across several dozen networks, my perspective is a little bit unique in that I've been like kind of like seeing Celo from the start in terms of how it's performed on testnets. And one of the things that has stood out to me is the ability of Celo to meet deadlines and to say they're going to do something and then do it and not fail at it and not push it back an extraordinary amount of time. And there's like some protocols that we worked with that have pushed back their mainnet by more than a year. And with Celo, I mean, it was a couple of days. And so months out, when Celo told me like, hey, this is the day we're launching on, I'm like, sure. I'll see you next week and I'll ask you the same question and it'll be a different date. And I asked them next week and they're like, no, this is the date. I was like, okay, I'll ask you again next week. And so we did that dance, and they hit all the dates for incentivized testnet, and they hit the dates for mainnet, and they hit the dates for all the other upgrades you guys have been doing. And so from that perspective, I think that there's like a certain, it's almost like there's two components. There's the vision that has to be strong with any protocol, but then also the execution has to be really strong. And it has to be, in many ways, like very community oriented, but also very like operationally, strong and like on time and like doing things that you said you're going to be doing. And those are very hard. Those very, very hard to find. And most protocols that I've seen out in the market usually have at best one of those qualities, right? and very, very few have both of them. And so I think Celo, from that perspective, is incredibly powerful and incredibly promising. And so, you know, I'm not that fussed about this hard fork. We hard fork basically like every day on a different protocol, and so it's like less of an occasion from that perspective. And I also see it as less impactful for Celo in that, like, you guys have such a long journey ahead of you that, like, as much as this is, you know, one of the things, I'm like, there's going to be a million cooler things you guys are going to be doing in the coming years. And that's kind of like what my, you know, what I'm paying attention to the most. So I'm very excited for you. I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening down the line.
Well, yeah, I'm excited as well, and I'm glad that you could make it to the watch party and stuff. As one of the more prominent validators and stuff, you know, and one of the few folks that I've been working with outside of C-Lab on Celo, like, yeah, I'm happy to have you here. And yeah, when we announce the hard fork, we stick to the date, right, guys?
Yeah.
And yeah, just want to keep us live. 75 blocks to go, folks.
Yeah, nice. We'll start sharing really soon once we hit like 30, 40 blocks. So the other folks that I want to give a highlight to, so Tinka, our designer, you came up with a million different designs for donuts and stuff, to the point that you're like, I don't want to design another donut anymore. But they're really well done and stuff for the social media and all the different content that we created. So how do you feel about, you know, that we're finally almost there, toward activation?
Yeah, it was super fun to make all of them. A nice change from just like your regular Celo branding. So I had a good time drawing out all the donuts, but definitely ready to move on to something else.
Yeah, maybe a new dessert in the future and stuff. Or like espresso. I don't know how many different design iteration we can come up with espresso in the future, but I'm kind of curious to find out as well. And I also want to give a shout out to our social media wizard and for our comms team. So Abby and Larisha and Lucinda, I believe you're all on the call. How do y'all feel?
I'm feeling really good. I am excited for the ETH community to come again into our community. I come from the Ethereum world and have been building on Celo for the past couple of months. So I'm really excited about all these integrations being live and seeing all the funny memes. I've been living for the memes. And I think my favorite, I know Jarrell, you're on the call, is the Avenger video that you made. If you guys haven't seen it, I will throw it up somewhere because you need to.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite memes of all time and stuff. I don't know how long it took you, Joel. How long did it take you to make it?
It took me about an hour.
Oh.
I don't want to flex, but it took me about an hour.
Like a future chief meme officer in the making is what I'm saying here. And yeah, Abby, where's Abby? Is she on the call?
I am, yes.
So how are you feeling?
I'm also just super excited. Yeah, I'm also living for the memes. I'm not gonna lie. All the memes of cats and donuts were really great the other day. So that has been bringing me fuel. And yeah, I'm just super excited. It's creating quite a bit of traction on social. So I'm excited to see it go live.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're all super excited. So now we're sharing the screen for the donut. We're at 53 blocks or 43 blocks away. Apologies. So yeah, we're almost there and stuff. Want to see? I believe Eric, you're on the call. Eric, you want to introduce yourself? Our new head of DevRel.
Hey, hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome work. I've been watching this from the sidelines. I'm like really excited to meet all you folks and work to make this as best as we can. So super job. And I can't wait to be eating my donuts later today. I don't have any yet, but I will. So thanks.
Awesome. Well, yeah, looking forward to seeing you get started today, Eric's first day. And so far, you know, you show up on the day of the hard fork. Like, what could be a better first day for you, right?
Yes, I just wanted to highlight that we do have a couple builders on the live stream that have been waiting for MetaMask integration to run some cool upgrades. One being Chris Hughes, who's doing an ATM project. So I just wanted to highlight that once this goes live, he's got some big stuff planned for his team.
Well, It's going to go live in 28 blocks. So I'm assuming Chris is super excited about it right now. Aren't you, Chris?
It's the final countdown. No, seriously, it is the final countdown, and we are super excited to be building on top of Celo. The ATMs are progressing beautifully. This has been so much fun. I love working with you guys.
Well, when I saw the ATM video, I was like blown away that was possible. And yeah, I mean, there's ATMs in your background. You're like the Celo ATM guy, right?
We can't wait to show you. Actually, this is the newest import. I can't lift it up; it's too heavy. But here, I can turn the camera down. This is the new smaller version of it, which will be the tiny Celo box. I don't. Maybe we're gonna call them Celo cubes. I don't know yet, but we're super excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited to check that out later and stuff. So now we're at 13 blocks. So maybe it's time to start doing the countdown at the time of 10. I know there's a 5-second delay between each block, so it might not be the fastest countdown, but like, yeah. So 10 blocks, 9 blocks, 8 blocks. Feel free to say it with me.
Are we all doing like
10 blocks?
7. 6.
5.
4.
3.
Hey, that was unison. Almost.
2.
1.
Woohoo!
Oh my God!
So Donut has activated on Celo. Awesome. I'm so excited.
Hey.
We did it.
We did it indeed. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start to create a MetaMask transaction. But yeah. If you check out the node status right now, fork ID rejected on non-Donut activated node. So this node is a version 1.2.5, does not have Donut. So perhaps somebody here can share it with the YouTube chat, the donut.celostatus.live. What's interesting is because the old node doesn't include Donut and Donut activates, the old node cannot continue syncing with the network and stuff. So that kind of showed you that, Donut activated and stuff. I'm currently going to start creating a transaction on Celo right now for MetaMask. At the same time, one thing that we need to highlight while I'm doing this is that we have new documentation for our builders and for our Celo owner to integrate with MetaMask. Meta, you want to give a little summary while we share that link with the YouTube folks and we tweet it out?
Yeah, for sure. So you can see everything on the docs page that should have been live yesterday. But it basically just allows you to add Celo networks using MetaMask. And then there's a bunch of warnings that allow you to, realize what exactly you're doing. You can change you can add specific tokens. So CUSD, CEuro, all of that. The warnings are mainly around things like gas fees, since MetaMask won't be able to accurately calculate Celo gas fees. So you'll have to add that in manually. And then there's stuff around keeping things like private keys in mind, like how that works, how mnemonics and stuff are different with Celo and Ethereum. And then there's a section around how to use a ledger with MetaMask for Celo, and just some warnings around that. And then manual and also programmatic setup. So there's a bunch of JavaScript snippets for how you can add a Celo network to MetaMask programmatically. So this will be great for any dApp developer that's working on this. And then you as a user can also manually set this up so you can view all the Celo and Celo assets that you hold. Yeah, I'm super excited for it to be live.
Yeah, it's gonna be live. It's already live right now. So folks, builders, you can get started on it. I know Chris, you've been waiting for it. So yeah, it's super exciting. The one thing that I want to see, I don't know, like if I can do it really quickly right now, is I want to see who produced the block for Donut. I think we want to say thank you to that or give a shout out to the validator that did that. Even though it's just like it's like a IBFT IBFT consensus happens on like in a round, like a round robin, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it was Mission Quorum according to Merrick. So congrats, Mission Quorum. Tim is part of Mission Quorum. How do you feel, Tim? You produced the block for Donut.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So Donut is activated right now. As we can see, the old node is not like syncing with the rest of the network because it doesn't have Donut. So we invite everyone to start testing the MetaMask transaction happening and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. And then we can do right now, if we have time, a round of praise and applause. Yeah, so for me specifically, I want to do a round of praise to everyone here and folks who have been working on Donut for a while, from the core devs to the DevRel team, you know, creating all that content, to the DevX team, building all these awesome you know, documentation and stuff, and to the community team with Vanessa and Adriana, like, you know, being our, you know, important members of our community and leaders of our community. So thank you to all and stuff. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna be celebrating with donuts. I haven't eaten mine yet, so I'm kind of jealous that everyone has already, but like, yeah. So thank you to y'all. Anyone have anything they want to add? And do we have any questions maybe from the audience?
Well, I think we all just want to say shouts out and praise to you, Yaz. Thanks for coordinating all of this. Thanks for keeping everybody on track. You are like the North Star that got the donut activated. And yeah, shouts out to all the validators, everyone that could join today, everyone who's been working with any kind of external team, or people who are just in the community excited for this activation to take our community to that next level. Shouts out to James Prestwich and like the future of bridging that he's running over at Celo as well. And yeah, I can't say enough about how excited I am about the future of this project. I think this was a really, really necessary step. So happy to see that it went off without a hitch or anything like that. And as much drama as there is today in the market and in the crypto universe, I'm glad that this wasn't one of them.
Yes, it's hadn't been. I'm totally agree.
Hey, real quick, we need to do a quick shout out to Josh Kreitz for constantly working on evolving educational material. Like, we have some big things coming down the pipeline to support our community. I just want to give a big shout out to Josh Kreitz, because when you go through the documentation, you can see he has been a beast too, trying to make sure to support everybody developing on the Celo platform. So just some love, just sharing some love.
Shout out to Josh.
Yes.
In the past, when people would ask me, how do you want to scale DevRel? I would say we can just clone Josh, and then that would be our scaling plan and stuff, just because he's like really awesome and stuff.
Hey, yes, I think before people finish eating donuts, let's take some pictures with donuts, everyone.
Yeah.
I know I promised I'd get through all of them, but I only got through 6 donuts. I can't.
You're a champ.
All right, I'll take a screenshot. Everyone, like hold up your donuts here. 3, 2, 1. Peace. All right, I'll take one more in the next screen. 1 second.
Nobody gave me any donuts.
All right, everyone, donuts.
Well,
Nice.
awesome. We still have we scheduled probably like 10-15 minutes more for the stream. So if anyone wants to give a shout out, feel free to do, or praises. We're going to be monitoring for any questions from the community. But while we're doing that, Tim, I want to ask again, what do you think about like the future of Celo from an engineering perspective and project and stuff, and what you'd like to see? What can people anticipate for the future?
Right. Well, now you put me on the spot.
Oh, sorry.
So, I mean, I guess the simple, quick answer is like wherever the community kind of directs it, right? Like open source projects are always, decisions in open source projects are always made by like those who show up, and C-Labs is definitely showing up and will continue to do so. But like it's the steering of the project is really a community effort. If you ask me for my kind of wish list, I think I'm super excited about like full EVM compatibility. I think close connections to Ethereum and other chains through bridging is going to be super important. I think there's further work we can do to like decentralize as well. Binance Smart Chain is an example of like the desire for EVM compatible chains and low gas fees, but like that centralization concerns me, and I think many other people like considerably. And C-Labs did not operate a single validator at the point that the Celo chain, the mainnet, was started. We have more separate entities involved in like the minimum number of entities like who operate infrastructure required to get a quorum on a block is like higher than many other proof of stake chains. But there is still further work that we could do to like further decentralize. I'm excited to like, think about how we decentralize oracles, how we decentralize like management of the reserve further, how we kind of improve and diversify input into like the governance process, how we raise up diverse voices in the community, both like among node operators and developers. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff we can do there. I think like scalability is something which is, or like transaction throughput. The distributed systems person in me like hates the use of the word scalability here, so I will try and catch myself and not use it. But like improving throughput is like really on my list. The C-Labs blockchain team have been thinking about that for a long time and have already like put a whole bunch of changes through their paces. Some of them have already like landed on mainnet. We're up to 20 million gas now. I think my maybe ambitious target is like to reach something that looks a little bit like Visa scale by like the end of the year, as I said at the last Connecco. I can see Mariano grimacing over there in the corner. There's a lot of work to do there. Luckily, there's no actual one definition for Visa scale if you look on the web, so we've got a little bit of wiggle room there. Fundamentally, transaction throughput is only really valuable if you have like users and usage. And so really what we're talking about here is staying ahead of the curve. Like, demand for Celo has like, and the usage of the Celo network has gone up like considerably. Like it's insane. It took probably like 150 plus days to reach 1 million transactions. And we have done like the last 1 million transactions in a matter of like, like days. I haven't counted, but I think it was probably like 20-ish days, something like that. So like the number of addresses on the network is going up considerably, and these are all great problems to have, but we need to deliver on our commitments, I think, to really make Celo a platform that allows anybody like with a mobile phone to exchange value and to like have access to financial services. We need to keep transaction fees down. Gas at the moment is like, not an issue on Celo. It's just something you don't have to worry about and think about, and that's awesome. But we need to keep it like that. And my personal desire is to like try and like keep simple transactions below the equivalent of a US cent. And yeah, that's going to require some like, you know, extremely involved and complicated engineering work, both at layer 1 and at layer 2, from like the blockchain team at C Labs and from the rest of the community, and with the support of validators as well. I think we can get there. So yeah, so those are some of the things that kind of I'm excited about. I can see that there will also be like some of the performance work there is going to require changes that are kind of hard fork material, and so I would not be surprised if we see some of those coming up in Enchilada, Espresso, or Eclair.
Eclair. So it sounds like decentralization and Visa scale, or like in cheap transaction, are like the core thing that we think we want to improve upon for the long term and stuff. We have a few questions from the audience. One question is, post Donut upgrade, what metrics are you looking at to know that the network is accomplishing what you want it to do? What apps are you most excited about that will be built in Celo or cross-chain? So maybe this is a question for anyone in the watch party who wants to answer stuff.
I can kick us off. I'm just excited, yeah, for the cross-chain action from all the different layer ones that I think we share similar missions with some of what we're doing. I've also been a strong believer that like mutually assured development is the way forward, and everything that's been a success and magic on Ethereum, I would love to see brought over to Celo and essentially just made accessible to 5.3 billion mobile phone users, and just like our general ecosystem as a whole. I think that the cross-chain stuff being done with optics and what Zaki was talking about earlier with Cosmos is kind of the exact way I vision the crypto world headed. And there's something to be said about stopping like this contentious back and forth between projects and starting to see it as like we're all playing this game together, and we're all trying to win and help together. So I think, yeah, this Donut upgrade is our big step towards that direction for us.
Well, yeah, I'm very excited about the cross-chain apps under the optics project and stuff. I think that would be really exciting and stuff. Anyone else? Otherwise, we can go to the next question.
Yeah. Yes. Can I address the question? Please. For any plans for adoption in Africa? Is like, there's been this big gap with Bitcoin trying to bank the unbanked globally, largely unfilled, right? And Celo, this moment right now, where we just went through the hard fork, this is widening our spectrum and allowing us a path to fulfill that plan that was originally Bitcoin's. Like Celo's pushing that forward. Finally, we can have accessibility in areas like Africa, providing banking services to those that lack access. Also permissionless, like our blockchain's permissionless. Feel free to join and come on board. Fantastic talent from the community, the teams all around the world, largely contributing to fulfilling the original vision of Satoshi Nakamoto. And that to me is just amazing. So I think—
And I want to give a shout out to the teams that are currently building in Africa. Like we have people like Paychant. We have people that are just kind of in Pesa base as well, like who are starting off that whole push for us. And I think with this kind of upgrade and like the access that they're getting to MetaMask and other tools, they're just gonna 10x their user base and bring even more people from the Ethereum ecosystem and start sharing that community. But yeah, they are our North Stars for the African ecosystem, and we got some great people running our ecosystem out there, like Peter and Yaloway and Umar, who are all just like all stars in the African ecosystem.
And for anyone who wants to learn more, I also highly recommend attending the Celo Camp Batch 3 Demo Day, which is coming up. It's Tuesday, May 25th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's a great opportunity to see a lot of these different companies and projects that are building on Celo right now. Chris, who we saw from or heard from earlier today, is in that batch. with the wonderful Celo ATMs that you can see in the background. But there's plenty other incredible teams as well that are going to be presenting and pitching. So highly recommend to join that.
So yeah, Celo Camp, definitely check out the demo day. There's a lot of other ways to get involved. One other question we're getting is how to become a Celo validator. Where can I find resources about it? So we have the Celo Foundation voting program. I'm going to paste the link in Zoom, and let me change to everyone. And one of you nice folks maybe can share it with the folks on the YouTube live stream. But basically that link it goes over the program for the foundation voting policy and how, like, if you're a validator, you want to become a validator, how to apply, what are the criteria from like a technical perspective and from like a mission alignment perspective, and how do you, apply and stuff like that. Currently, we're going to open up the new cohort application in like a month or so. That would be a way to like apply. And if you ever want to keep in touch with everything that we're doing in the Celo core community, I highly recommend, I'm dropping a link in Zoom, hopefully somebody can share it in YouTube, Celo Signal mailing list. And it's a weekly mailing list where we go over everything happening in the core community, from node operation, validator operations, all the way to anything happening in governance, the hard fork, the all core dev call, the governance calls. Sometimes we have like, happy hours. So like we actually schedule a few happy hours. So if you want to attend those and stuff and talk about nodes all day. Yeah, I think one of my favorite quote this week, actually I'm the one who came up with it, but like, it's just like, is the node half full or half empty? Because we're always talking about full node versus like not full nodes and stuff. And it's just, if you're into node, definitely check out the Celo Signal mailing list. I'm going to check if we have any more other questions. So what plans do you have in place to avoid the impact of consensus failure? The fact that it's been capitalized, I'm assuming it's a topic and stuff, because I guess there's many different ways that consensus failure can happen. On Celo, because it's an IBFT network, we have a quorum for validators. So 67 validators are what it takes to continue operation on the Celo network to produce blocks out of 100 validators set. I'm not sure if that answers the question, but maybe somebody else can chime in and stuff.
Can you repeat the question? I missed it.
What plans do you have in place to avoid the impact of consensus failure? Is in the group chat that we have by Adhikar Boya.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think in a proof of stake network that uses BFT, as long as there's 67% of the validators that are all agreeing to the current state of the chain, the network will continue to make forward progress. And so that was the minimum that needed to upgrade to participate in this hard fork. And of course, that happened, which is really, really great. And that's why we have a healthy chain post hard fork. And it's, the minimum for any, contentious, consensus decisions that go forward. So far, I think everyone's being generally on the same page, and the network has operated without any downtime since the launch over a year ago. So that's been amazing to see.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I would add is that we try and like do as many things through on-chain governance. Celo has like a built-in on-chain governance, which means that far fewer things than in many other networks have to involve like a hard fork. It's only the small number of things that are really kind of like around how the protocol operates and how the format of the kind of internal data structures and so on that really do end up like needing a hard fork. Now, maybe it would be really nice if we could have like a New Year's Eve style countdown for every smart contract upgrade we do. But the reality is we've like over this year already had like 6 major upgrades to like what I consider core parts of the platform with just like no sweat, because they've all just been done via on-chain governance. And I think we're now up to like 25 or 30 actual like executed proposals that have all happened. So yes, the way the kind of meta way you avoid consensus failure is like you have lots of chats on Discord and you have discussions on CIPs and you like push things to on-chain governance. But yeah, in the event that like, you know, the network couldn't agree a block or that like a whole bunch of validators go offline, we would the system will sit there until it can find a like Byzantine quorum of those 2/3 of validators, and then it will pick up again.
Well, awesome. Yeah, so I hope that answers the question. One other thing, I want to drop the link. I don't know if we shared it in the chat on YouTube, but this is the link for Meta's docs on how to use MetaMask with Celo. So for all the dApp builders and stuff, your action item to check out the docs for the weekend, or maybe this week if you want to get started right away, and like start with your integration and stuff like that. With MetaMask connected to the Celo network and stuff, and hopefully with all the different dApps that are already on Celo, like, you know, Moola Market and Uberswap and Poof Cash, we will see more integration with MetaMask and stuff like that. And one exciting thing would be bridging. If you could, like, in theory, having a bridge between two different networks and stuff would, like, it's a better UX to have one browser wallet than having multiple for each different network. And that's one of the things I'm really excited with the integration with MetaMask and stuff like that. So I believe, like, you know, we're soon approaching time, and any final thought, any comments and stuff, maybe from the founders, Marek, Renee, you know, what are you looking forward to next with Celo?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, I think, as Tim mentioned, there's a lot of interesting stuff that I think we've been hearing from the community that the people are excited about. I think certainly the increase in demand on the network over the last few months, as Tim mentioned, means that absolutely scalability, or as Tim said, transaction throughput is important. But we're not going to do that at the expense of decentralization. In fact, you know, I think we want to continue to increase the security of the network, increase the validator set. You know, we've done amazing research in the past to even scale consensus to hundreds of thousands of nodes, and so it's going to be exciting over the long term to kind of execute against that long term kind of roadmap. Again, should kind of the community kind of direct kind of the open source code in that direction. You know, we talked about interoperability as well, and that's absolutely critical. And this, I think we spent a whole ton of time on that already, and I'm just beyond excited to see optics and a whole slew of other bridges go live. But there's a lot of other changes as well that are, I think, a little more under the radar. You know, Celo has this incredible decentralized phone verification protocol that allows you to verify your phone number in a decentralized manner. And that lets you actually send payments to phone numbers directly, even before the person signed up. And there's a lot of really interesting ideas and innovation that we can bring over there, both to bring that service to more places of the world. I think there's some countries where it's hard to get those text messages delivered. And so there's a whole body of work to try to make that, to improve on that, but also to increase the security of that and just to make the onboarding experience or that experience of getting verified quicker. Right now, it takes about 2 minutes, but you know, people, of course, are used to centralized phone verification taking on the order of, I don't know, 20 seconds. Of course, things are harder when you do it decentralized, but you know, I think as we've shown with other things, we can innovate and make that experience even better. And so there's a whole slew of exciting things in the works that can do that. I'll leave it at that and maybe hand it over to Renee for any final thoughts.
Yeah, +1 to everything you said, Marek. To me, look, I think the nice thing is with a lot of the core building blocks falling into place, coming into place, it's a great time to really think long term. And I know a lot of the founders in the ecosystem are super ambitious, and they're not thinking, okay, what can I do in the next months or two, but how can I build a solution that can really impact communities in the long term and have like a positive impact, whether that's from bringing better financial products and services, giving someone access to sort of the digital economy, or healing our planet, right? I think I think of Celo as infrastructure that really enables the broadest set of use cases and is evolving sort of with the needs of the community. And today is a great example of that. But to me, it's I think core focus for all of us on this call and is to support each other as much as we can, because I think it's less about a single application, but it's about being there for each other as a community to support ourselves and each other on this ambitious journey.
Well, thank you for that, for this insightful outlook on the future of Celo. I think I speak on behalf of the rest of the community that we're super excited to see where Celo is going and stuff like that, especially with the mission, bringing prosperity to all and stuff like that. I want to hand it off as well to from the community side, like what can we see or hope to see from the community side? Adriana, Vanessa, what do you think like for the future of Celo?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we want to grow the community and reach as many people as possible. We're just really getting started and bringing people into the fold. So, we want to touch developers, designers, dreamers, and doers, just anyone who has an interest in the mission, any level of technical ability. Everyone's welcome in this journey because ultimately this is for prosperity for everybody. And so on the community side, we have an ambassador program currently, and we're going to continue to revamp that this coming year to make it more accessible to more people. We have our Kuneko conference that we just had a couple weeks ago, and we're going to continue with that on an annual basis, and we'll have more opportunities for the community to come together. And we're also thinking about bringing the Prosper Retreat back. This was pre-COVID, a retreat to bring people together in person to really ideate on what this new future that we're building can look like. And we're excited about the prospect thinking about that again, possibly later this year. So more to come. Please be sure to sign up for the Celo Beat newsletter. That is our way of connecting with everyone with updates from the community. And I think we also posted on YouTube the Medium post that has all the updates from the last Kuneko conference. There's a lot of great material in there that showcases all the great projects that are being built. And so I invite everyone to go and check it out and also join our Discord channel as well to stay in tune.
Well, awesome. I'm really looking forward for the future of Prosper Retreat. Ever since I joined, that's all I've been hearing about, Prosper Retreat, and I'm really curious to see what's it like and stuff. Mariano, any final thoughts from the core dev side, on the blockchain side, the outlook for the future? What do you have in mind?
Yeah, I guess Tim said that previously. Right now, most of our work it's around scalability, or as agree also with Tim, like we should call it more on transaction throughput. And so, to me, that's really exciting and incredible work, and hope we get to those very ambitious goals that we have like for it. I think that's one of the more interesting parts that we have right now on our roadmap.
Awesome. Yeah, I think scalability is super important and stuff. All right. So we're, I think, 8 minutes away. I know Gab asked if we can do finally like a little bit of dancing to close it off. So maybe Jarrell, you can play some music. People can dance and leave as they like. I'm just going to be eating donuts and just chilling around and stuff. And, hit me with anything that you want to say, Jarrell, while you play music for the future of Celo and stuff.
I have
up
to
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just excited for everything. You know how it is. I think that this is going to be just a huge step for even more accessibility, and we've laid a great foundation here for people all over the world to kind of make their own like indigenous solutions on a very accessible like ground floor chain. But yeah, I can definitely play some music. The phenomenal Gabrielle made a playlist entirely themed around donuts. So here we go.
Yeah, we should check out the playlist, but we're gonna have to, I think, end the live stream before we
Okay, yeah, because I believe that it can't be copyrighted music, right? Otherwise YouTube will shut it down. Yeah, let's not.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good point. But at least when we drop the Spotify track list in the chat channel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so if anyone can post it, Gab, post the link, and then it will be shared on the YouTube live stream. That will be the donut playlist that Gab came up with that I'll be tuning into after the live stream and stuff like that. So I want to I'm going to probably it's time to end the live stream. I want to thank everyone here for attending the watch party. I want to thank our viewers on the YouTube live stream. I want to thank the Web3 community, the Celo community, the core devs, the founders, all the entrepreneurs building on top of Celo, all the different engineers that are not necessarily working on the blockchain, but working on all the important infrastructure that is supporting Celo. I want to thank the comms team, the social media team, you know who you are, the community team, the DevRel team, the DevX team. I want to thank Deepak for being the most enthusiastic person at every community event. Thank you all. And I hope you had a great watch party for the Donut Hardfork, and this is going to be the one of many hard forks to come. So
thank you, Zach. Thank you, Yaz.
Thank you, Yaz.
Thanks, Yaz.
Yaz. Woohoo.
Thanks, Yaz.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
Nothing but love.
Take care, y'all.
Happy Donut Day.
Happy Donut Day.